Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been slammed for giving politically boring answers when talking about struggling players. Comes after Solskjaer dodged a question about Anthony Martial following United's defeat to West Ham in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. The Frenchman had started the clash at Old Trafford, but once again failed to impress as the Hammers knocked Solskjaer's side out. Selected as United's central striker, Martial had another night of struggle, despite playing the full 90 minutes for the first time this season. On Wednesday, the attacker had just 3 shots altogether, with 2 of those going off target to add further weight to questions around his future. His last goals for the Red Devils came in February, with his 2 strikes in the 9-0 hammering of Southampton being his only 2 in his last 24 games. The match was just his second start of the season, with his last being an equally ineffectual performance against the Saints. Martial was caught offside more times than he had shots in that game at St Mary's, with his form showing no signs of recovering. But despite his dire start to the new campaign, with the striker still yet to score having featured in 6 games, Solskjaer refused to criticize him. Instead, the Norwegian attempted to dodge the question about Martial's display against West Ham and insist that the Frenchman would get his chances. "I don't think it's right to go into individual performances. Anto was the same as the rest of the team," Solskjaer said. "We played some nice football. Just we lacked some of that cutting edge and he knows what we want from him. He keeps on working and he'll get his chances." Solskjaer's response to that question has now been slammed by former Tottenham star Jamie O'Hara. O'Hara blasted the politically boring answers that the United boss tends to give in Martial-type situations after encouraging him to copy Thomas Tuchel's half-time substitution of Saul Niguez. Saul was hauled off at the break in his debut for Chelsea against Aston Villa, having struggled to keep up with the pace of his first Premier League game. After that game, Tuchel took responsibility for Saul's poor performance, admitting that Saul had struggled to get used to the physicality of the English game. And O'Hara has now encouraged Solskjaer to take on Tuchel's brutal honest approach when it comes to Martial. "I want him to be like Thomas Tuchel, who comes out and is honest, like when Saul was taken off at half-time, but he, Solskjaer, gives these politically boring answers," he told. After yet another poor performance, it is unlikely that Martial will play much of a role in United's next game, which comes on Saturday with the visit of Villa.